But I'm looking at this right now. I see no reason why to be concerned.
Yeah, because like that, you think people will be able to like migrate and like to other sites? Because if the thing
It
is
takes a
like
few days, but yeah.
yeah, like if conditions like stay kind of the where they are, like you can't have that same like massive propulsion that we
Well, also
we
this is
saw
for the
earlier
US,
in the
right?
week.
I mean, you could see Justin's son or whatever, the guy who created Tron Coin. He put in like 20 million or something. So I know a lot of people in Europe are getting on the bandwagon. It's going global.
Yeah,
Wall
I mean,
Street Bets has gotten like 2 million members in like the past 2 days.
yeah, I remember I joined like in a few hours. I joined I think at like 2.2 million, and then there was like 2.8 like 30 minutes later.
I've been like a lurker since probably like a year ago, whatever. But I never joined until like right now because I didn't feel like having it show up on my feed. But it's pretty crazy, pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very like when all the dust settles here. It'd be very, very interesting to see in terms of like the actual like levels of effectiveness that we see in terms of like really. But I think it could have certain damage on some pretty big Wall Street companies, and there's definitely going to be companies who, like for example, the Leviathan like behemoth that is BlackRock, just getting all the market data ahead of time and piggybacking probably like through machines. They bought like I think billions of shares of GameStop, or like billions of dollars worth of shares of GameStop. So like they're getting in on this, and there's always going to be other hedge funds. There's always going to be people sprouting up as long as you continue to like to maintain the same system. But there is no doubt that I think the reason why this is so important is because it serves to like really show people the realities of Wall Street and the system. And also, I mean, what's wrong with taking a few awful hedge funds out along the way? Like, got to root for the great folks of WallStreetBets.
Hell yeah. Not white supremacists.
Yeah, not white supremacists. Like that is like such a. I've seen this happen like so many different times. Like with the movement for Jeremy Corbyn in England, the thing with Bernie Sanders. Like every time there's a left wing movement or any kind of like remotely populist anti-mainstream, there'll be people coming in like in like establishment positions being like, well, we really need to talk about the levels of like sexism, misogyny, racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, like just listing all these things and just throwing them on the wall just to see what sticks. Like that's their only strategy at this point, just like use woke politics in a way to stop like political movements. And it's just like, I hate to say it, because I do think like you got to call that stuff out all the time 100%, but it has really been used cynically, and that's a disturbing trend for me.
Yeah.
But do you want to, before we move on here, do you want to give a little bit of a nice juicy quote from Edward Moya, a senior market analyst at the trading firm OANDA. He said, the battle over GameStop is far from over, but there have been huge casualties. A solution for this entire market dislocation will take time, and that could suggest this insane trading will continue a little while longer. So there you go. And really, I mean, given a little bit of a hurt to the real market, also a pretty good sight to see. So any populist should be, I think, applauding at this. For sure. So now I do want to switch gears a little bit over to the political side. And before we do that, we're just going to play this 1-minute clip. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for keeping it locked here to the Spencer Walsh Radio Network. We have a lot of great offerings of programming to tell you about for this winter and spring here in 2021. A great new lineup. Newsflash is new now 3 times a week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Our popular hip-hop show, Uncultured, the best mix show in the game, is live every Friday. That's interesting. The new season is coming soon. The tip-top culture show that I had such fun doing and hope you had as much fun listening to this past spring is back for a second season. Of course, check out the last 2 episodes and, by the way, the entire season 1 of Uprising our fascinating hidden history podcasts, all available on every podcast platform you can possibly think of. So we have no excuse not to listen. All right, so that was just a quick little look on what is coming your way here on the Spencer Walsh Radio Network. Big thing here now as we move on to Joe Biden is executive orders. He's been governing by really a lot of executive orders, but the Republicans are demanding unity. Zach, so my question is to you, should he listen and unify with the Republicans?
What Republicans is my answer to that. There is no Republican Party. What? Who is their leader? Trump? Trump hates the Republicans. Yeah, they're not. What are they like? What? I mean, they're
Maybe McConnell.
yeah, but think about the future. Like, they need to unify themselves. Like, stop. Try to like. How are they talking about unifying with Democrats? They don't even have what. Like, think about what 2024 is going to be like. Who's going to run? If Ted Cruz runs, they're going to get like 40% of the vote.
Yeah, I mean, but Ted Cruz isn't very popular, but I do think there has been some real, like, serious fissures that have been closed in recent weeks as the party is just like, yeah, we're going to continue right there with that Trumpist politics and the Trumpist path.
Well, there's going to be like at least 10 million people who vote for Trump, like literally no matter what, next election, probably. Like, yeah.
Do you think Trump's going to start the Patriot Party?
I have no idea. Maybe. Who knows? I think, first of all, midterms are going to be like a big part of it, obviously. Yeah. Like, if the Republicans are doing nothing, if it's 2022 and the Republicans are still losing, well, they didn't lose ground in the House this year, but they lose ground, even more ground in the House. Obviously, they're probably gonna lose this Ohio seat apparently, so they're not gonna need a Democratic vice president again.
I doubt that. I mean, the Pennsylvania seat maybe, but I think, the ground is probably stronger for Republicans in the House, and especially if we have like some serious economic troubles. Biden struggles a little bit. Like, I definitely think you can't count out the current Republican Party in any state, because,
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you still like the same base. Like, the same base is still very much there.
Well, they're still like they're
very
socialist groups,
Yeah,
I mean, like they're the people who don't care about politics and they hear like socialized healthcare and then like run away as far as they can. So yeah. I guess you're right in that sense, but
and like if they can pull those, like, they just pull a little bit more of suburbia back. They're running against Joe Biden, or better yet, Kamala Harris.
I do think they'll make ground. Okay, well, there definitely were a lot of suburban housewives who, maybe like Trump was too far, but maybe somebody who's just like a little bit less racist is fine for them. So I think they will make up some ground on that. But I mean, Trump is so popular among so many people. Like, I find it hard for them. I find it hard to believe that they would like vote for anyone other than like, can you imagine like all those Trump, like you think the people who went to the rally would vote for somebody who verified the results of the election?
I mean, it would be pretty hard.
It's going to be like a long 4 years, obviously, but, unless like a lot of them change, which they seem incapable of doing, I feel like they'll just vote like libertarian or whatever. Or
at least some of the Republican senators, whoever wants to run, if whoever the nominee is, and it's not going to be someone like Josh Hawley. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it could very.
It'll be like Nikki Haley or like Ted Cruz or.
I don't think Nikki Haley has that special.
Not anymore. I don't even know. I can't think of any Republicans.
Like, who would be it's probably like a Trump, right? Like, Republican, like I just to look it up.
Sarah Huckabee.
She's got to go kill
She'll
it. She'll
win the gubernatorial race and then
100%.
straight up for the presidency.
She's going to clean up in that gubernatorial race. 100%.
Liz Cheney, but no.
No.
I don't think she even wants to be. Is she trying to run for Senate ever, or is she just chill?
She very well may lose her House seat, so there is that.
Yeah, because she voted to preserve democracy.
Yeah, and she was like really hard. She was like, guys, Trump lost the election and he should really leave. And then she was like immediately censured by her state party.
I think I know who should run. Who? The lady that thinks like Jews have lasers.
Yes, Jewish space lasers. I was just going to get into her.
Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, like where is the space laser? Where are you guys hiding it? Like, am I safe? That's what I really want to know. Like,
how can you have a secret space laser? It must be pretty far away.
Yeah, like that seems it's very, very impressive. I gotta give them credit. Gotta give the Jews credit.
Dude, really... I don't know. None of the other Jews are talking to me about this. I feel left out.
You're being left out of the space laser party.
Honestly, like all these people think I have wizard powers and shit. Like I wish that was true. I wish like what they were saying was right, dude.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like, think of all the things. What could you, if you had a secret space laser, what would you do with it?
It's a good question. Probably like kill all the people who think that, and then obviously just destroy Palestine. You know, every Jewish person wants.
Of course, naturally.
Haha. No, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably just kill Trump or something.
Maybe there's some certain location, some certain maybe street in New York.
I would go back in time
that you may want to put it on.
I would go back in time. Yeah, Wall Street. I was just gonna say that. I'd go back in time to when the picture was taken of when those dickheads were drinking champagne on the balcony while people were protesting underneath them.
That was an insane picture.
And then I would shoot out the balcony so that they would land on the ground, but they wouldn't die. And then the Wall Street protesters would beat the shit out of them until they would get murdered.
Like the Game of Thrones, like the dead people in Game of Thrones, they just completely engulf them. I think Steve Cohen was one of those guys up there in the pictures.
I don't know. Who knows? He wasn't really involved in that. I think he wasn't even trading at that point. He had a family office, I think. He got in trouble like pretty. Oh wait, let me see.
Like 2013, 2014, right? Because that picture was in 2011.
It was way earlier than that.
Let's get the wall. Like, there's one famous guy who's in the news because of the GameStop thing that was in that picture. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's this like kind of picture that's been going around Twitter. It's very, very good.
He settled in 2016, but I'm pretty sure it was before.
Yeah, this is like this picture of these people, these like literally champagne drinking like Wall Street people in like very fancy suits and everything, smiling and literally taking pictures like there's some zoo animals down below, like disrupting their brunch and sipping champagne and
I was
super
wrong.
smug.
It was 2010, so you're right. 2013, I pled guilty.
Yeah, like this is, if you haven't looked
this is like what the show Billions is based off of.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Yeah, it's sort of about this kind of like hedge fund douchebaggery. It's about insider trading.
Yeah, one of those guys. It's Steve Cohen, or it's
Steve Cohen is literally an insider trader. Like
it's Steve Cohen.
Should have gone to jail.
Yeah, Steve Cohen is taking a picture and he's laughing and he's smiling. It's great. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the images themselves are legitimate. The year is off. These images are from September 2011, not 2008, when Occupy Wall Street protesters first marched in the Wall Street on the way to Zuccotti Park to register their distance. All right, so let's see who's in there. You have unidentified banksters, and I don't see any of their actual names, but yeah, so like that is definitely a perfect encapsulation of what's going on. And those people right now, they're taking some big fat L's at the moment. So it's very good to see. But in terms of this, back to kind of what we were talking about before the Republican Party, January 13th, this is when this poll was taken. 42% of Republicans think